But okay, we're good to go.
Yeah, I think we're rolling. So.
Alrighty. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is
What it
episode 10.
Episode 10. Woo, woo.
Episode 10 of Your House, Our Rules. Today,
The country's
we,
on fire, calling the Juggalos.
Yes.
It's our country. Their rules.
I don't know what the Juggalos do, but we don't have to get into it. So today, we are going to be...
I just came up with that. That's not smart. I'm sorry. Carry on.
No, you're good. Today we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the murder of George Floyd, the protests, the riots, and kind of racism in America moving forward. How we can attack it now, how we can attack it in the future, kind of everything in between. So it's going to be a little bit more of a serious episode today. So yeah, just be in store for that. Boys, how are we? How you feeling? I guess we can do one at a time of your feelings in general on George Floyd, or we can kind of just shoot the shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, let's shoot the shit.
Yeah, let's shoot the shit, because I don't think we really need to talk about our feelings on the whole Floyd. I think all of us are pretty much like, yeah, it was fucked up.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah.
just real fucked up.
Murder's fucked up. Yeah.
It is.
Gotta do it.
And just so everybody is on the same page, as of today, as of this afternoon, the actual officer who did the kneeling on his back, his charge is second-degree murder as of right now, and the other three officers that were on the scene basically were brought in and are being charged with aiding and abetting a murder as of right now. So those are at least good news that we're holding them accountable. It took too long.
Well, I think
holding them accountable to an extent, because you still have to go through the entire process, but that's at least some glimpse of hope.
I mean, when you have to have thousands of people go destroy communities for certain things to be done the way they're supposed to be done in the fucking law, written in the Constitution, written in every state fucking law, every norm, it's kind of scary, you know? You shouldn't have to do these things. But, you know, what else do you do? You don't like when people do it in a peaceful manner. You don't like it when people are angry. We don't like it when people want to hold people accountable. It's always well, he shouldn't have. Is that a reason to kill somebody? Or he should have known. Is that a reason to kill somebody? I mean, I don't believe that as Americans we know in our minds that those are viable fucking ways to go about situations. We know this. We know we don't just kill people. But it just seems like it's okay to kill certain types of people for certain fucking reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I definitely agree with that sentiment. We shouldn't have to do all of this just to have what legitimately should just happen.
Correct.
Which is what these riots are happening for, and hopefully changing in the future. Keith, what are you thinking?
Man, it's an unprecedented thing that's going on in the entire world right now. I think that this is the one that's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I think we're going to start seeing some reform. Maybe not what we need to have reformed, like completely. We're not going to get all the way there, but we're starting to see like other countries are out like protesting because of America. And as we know, like this whole COVID incident, like the other countries are shut down more than the United States are for the most part, and these people are breaking out of their houses and supporting us and supporting minorities in this country. So that's a something that I see instilling a little bit of change. I saw that something today. I didn't get to check its validity or whatever, but that the Minnesota Police Department is going to start having stricter restrictions on what it's going to take to become a police officer. And I've seen some about other states kind of adopting that to their own legislators and stuff, legislation. But yeah, man, it's a fucking absolutely crazy time. Terrible things have happened. If you ask me, I'm kind of in a unique position in this whole thing where, like, I'm there for the minorities. I stand up, fight for your cause. You go ahead and riot, break the windows, loot the stores and stuff like that. But at the same time, I see the other side of the story. If you're gonna break into someone's business, be prepared to get shot. If you're gonna If you're going to stand on the roadways holding hands and stuff like that, be prepared to go run over. If your city has a curfew and you're going to be out past curfew, be prepared to be detained. No one said revolution was easy, but the way I'm seeing it, there's a race war being fought in America right now, and both sides are going to fight for their side.
And off of that, if you know there's a race war going on, or if you want to classify it as that, why would you tell people to prepare to get run over when it's a peaceful protest? You see, that's the problem. So they're prepared to get shot. If you're doing, I'm not talking about criminals. Will be criminals. It doesn't matter what color you are or anything like that. But there are peaceful protesters out there that are getting clipped, that are getting ran over by horses, that are getting shoved by police cars. What we should prepare to do is to not tell them, hey guys, be aware. It's, hey guys, we got your back. We should be there with them. We should have our platform. That's what we're doing now, to say, hey, keep at it. Not to instill fear in them during this time, saying, if you go out, because this is the reason why fucking black men fucking die at the hands, because they say, if you do something that this country that has oppressed you for so long says you shouldn't do it, don't go do it. That's why we're in this spot.
Correct.
So don't instill the fear in these guys.
It wasn't necessarily to instill fear for people not to do it. It was just for them to be prepared to actually fight.
I can assure you that every minority and every person that has walked those streets understands what it's like when you're going to confront the police officers. It's nothing new for those people.
Sure.
When you say that, it makes it seem like no, but hold on. When you say that, it makes it seem like they're ignorant to the cause that they're doing. You know, preparedness is, hey, if you need something, we're going to give you some food. If you need fucking shields, we'll give you shields. If you need a platform to come speak, that's how you prepare them. Not by saying you might get shot. That is known, and it's not necessary to harp on.
Okay, well...
But I understand.
I know you understand where I'm coming from. I posted this on Facebook the other day. It's just... I just want people to...
You want people to be safe.
Yeah, I want people to be safe.
Yes.
I don't want... I'm a pacifist at heart. I don't want to see people out there looting. I don't want to see people getting shot and shit like that. But this is where we're at, and... Like I said before, this is an unprecedented one in all the... I mean, it is because of the amount of people that are becoming involved outside the country. Like, it happened in Minneapolis, and usually when we see this, it's kind of generalized towards that local area, and now it has become an international thing. So there's a little bit more at stake. There's a little bit more backing and stuff like that. So... That's why I'm just saying this one's looking a little bit more iffy. And to be completely honest, from what I've seen of the protests, they're generally staying pretty peaceful, and it's a good thing. And we're still getting the change that we need to. It's looking like it's still early in the game, so I don't know. Keep at it. That's all I'll say. Like I said, I support the looters, but it's just one of those things where like people are going to defend their shit. So.
Right, and to agree with both.
People will defend.
Right.
It's just, there's so much that builds up for this to happen that when it happens, you shouldn't be surprised. People shouldn't be angry. People should understand the reaction to the issues that have been happening for decades and decades and decades and decades, hundreds of fucking years. When the shit starts burning down, you can't just open it and say, whoa, fuck, looters. Well, oh, fuck, they're going to fuck us up. Well, no shit. Nobody listens. When people take a fucking knee, it's like, oh, God, the fucking Americans that go out and fight for this country, they fucking put their lives down and they do this and they do that. I believe in that. I'm a Marine myself, for you guys that don't fucking know that. But my Marine friends come here. If they're minorities, they get treated like shit just like fucking everybody else. Weapons get drawn on them while they're here. Weapons don't get drawn on them over there. That's the thing. So when there's peaceful things, they turn it into, there's not every cop or our fucking troops.
Yeah.
Or are they... No.
And peaceful things don't get it done. Kaepernick proved that. Kaepernick took a kneel during the fucking national anthem. Nothing happened. Now people are starting to burn shit down. Well,
you got a whole bunch that is nothing. Got a couple written down just so you can see the leaders that you have from, for activism. This is what most of my friends that don't understand the cause come at me with. Well, Martin Luther King did it well.
Yeah.
right?
He's not a fan of Martin Luther King.
No, it's not that I'm not a fan of Martin Luther King. You want it to be like Martin Luther King. Why? What happened to Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King got shot
Killed,
and
yeah.
killed. for
Right?
the cause.
So I
For
want you
being
to I
peaceful.
want you to be soft. I want you to fucking take everything I'm giving you and never ask for anything else. If I beat you, if I kill you, if you go to fucking jail, you will not take this. Be pacific about it, and then we'll kill you. And then he'll come the next one, and we'll kill him too. And then we'll have another leader, and we'll kill him too. And we'll have now what? You don't give them the fucking leaders. They're going to do it without a leader. That's what happens. That's why shit burns down. Because there's no control. They kill all of our fucking leaders to make us look like the criminals that are looting, that are burning down the fucking country. It's a fucking systemic thing, and it has to fucking stop.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on the fence of the looting just because if I am a small business owner and my house or my building is up in flames or you put, I don't know, $10,000 worth of damage, no matter what, you're going to be mad.
Correct.
So it's kind of directing that anger. Some are going to direct it. I mean, most people are just going to direct it at the people who did it. And then there's some
Yes.
people that are going to direct it to the entire crowd and be like, oh, it's all the Black Lives Matter people,
But
as opposed to like
you
the
have to
5
understand
people.
where the retaliation of this comes from, because you have huge parts of the country that we'll say just natural disasters, right? Katrina, right? Majority black people, right? Places, there's blocks still boarded up. Did they give a
yeah.
fuck about the black people in those places that got tore up? Now, is it being looted or burnt down? No. But did the government let them fucking just relocate and destroy that fucking community by not helping them out with their insurance? Yes. You have to see how when you're abandoned, you abandon hope and you're going to take. You're not waiting to get given anything anymore. You are going to take all that you can so that people know that you have to be feared, you have to be respected. And it sucks that it has to go this way, but everything that is being done is being done because there is no leadership for us because they're fucking been killed. And the leadership that we have, say Congress, say presidents, say law enforcement, shit like that, is all fucking skewed.
Yeah. And people act like this is the first time that's ever happened.
No.
Every single revolution
no,
that has
yeah.
ever had been successful in like the history of time has been violent.
Right. No, yeah, and there definitely has to be violence, and like we alluded to already, there's been plenty of times where it has been peaceful protest, and it always gets skewed in a way, like you mentioned with Kaepernick, it always gets skewed in a way to make people believe that it was against something else. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's kneeling to
And it's
say that the
against all of our
flag
heroes.
doesn't mean anything, and that everybody serving the military is worthless and all this stuff. When in reality, he had asked the permission of a former Green Beret of how he would go about doing it in the most peaceful and respectful way. And that's when he kind of started taking the knee. So he could do both while still respecting the flag. He could still take his stand. So yeah, I still am on the fence because I get that the peaceful, like, I get the rioting and burning and shit because we've tried the peaceful route and that hasn't worked at all. But then in a way, you're still burning people's property. And I get there's years and hundreds and thousands of years of problems that have gone against black people in that this is kind of all coming to a head at these riots and stuff like that at times. But it's still hard to put that on one person to be like, oh, they burned my building down, but I'm not allowed to be mad because of history.
Oh, no, I never said you're not allowed to be mad. You have to
Oh, yeah.
understand that you're mad because things are
Oh.
about to change.
For me, it's like I don't agree with it at all. I would like it to see it in a peaceful way, but I understand what needs.
Oh,
to
I
happen
definitely,
for
yeah,
things
no,
to get
I
fixed.
understand 1,000% that they're going this route because the peaceful way didn't work, obviously, and it's not going to work. But there are still people out here, and yeah, don't let the media skew it. Like, not every single person on the street is burning a house every 15 minutes.
And,
They're-
and
for the-
not every single
the-
police officer is out there killing
Right. It's still the 99% of people peacefully protesting and not burning shit. And there's 99%
There-
of cops that are doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
But in to get into the cops thing, I mean, I know many cops, all
As do
good
I.
people, but Chris Rock said it kind of in a perfect way years ago that it's not a job that you can have that, oh, one bad apple mistake. He kind of metaphorically put it to having a pilot and being like, oh, well, American Airlines can't just make an announcement to people being like,
Yeah.
hey, most of our pilots will
mean-
land these planes. So it's with so much responsibility, you have to vet these people 10 times further than anybody else in
and
society.
that is one thing I will say about police officers too. They are they have a huge responsibility on their
Massive.
shoulder, and there is not nearly enough education in that system to fucking justify the people that we have in the police force and stuff like that. There needs to be a lot more studying. They need to study psychology and criminology and all sorts of things to do it. I mean, look at lawyers and police officers. Lawyers have to know the law to the fucking T, but I know a ton of fucking police officers that don't know the fucking law at all, dude. At all. I got an argument on Facebook the other day about the Florida governor or whatever, when he was talking about if you're going into their homes, I recommend that you shoot them or whatever. He kind of said that. It wasn't exactly what he said. I got into a Facebook argument with the dude, and like, he straight up did not know the laws in Ohio about being able to kill someone if they're breaking and entering. You're not allowed to shoot someone who breaks into your house unless it is justifiable. Like, you have to be cornered, no exit, and the person has to attack you for you to use lethal force. You're allowed to use force to defend them, but you're not allowed to use lethal force. And his comeback to that was...
It's called an escalation of force. You have to go by steps.
Yeah, it was... I should have wrote it down. I didn't have it. But his response to that, when I told him that, he was like, that's just not true. In Columbus, I have a house. My house got broken into 2 months ago. He said, a police officer told me if someone walks into my house, I'm allowed to shoot them dead. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but if you want to come and talk to me about this, start using some credible sources, because a police officer is not a fucking credible source. If police officers knew what the fuck they were doing, then our entire country would not be fucking burning right now.
I'm not here to call anybody dumb or anything like that, but when you as an institution, being law enforcement institution, target a demographic of people, it doesn't matter if it's 1 of you, 2 of you, 3 of you, 7 of you, a whole fucking country of you. You are an institution. You are a institution. Mm-hmm. You are part of it. I'm a Marine, right? So if a Marine does something, if people bring up, oh yeah, Marines fucking go kill and rape fucking hookers in Thailand. Why, yes, they have done that. And I feel bad for it. And anybody that brings that up, I will not have a person's back for doing that. I will not say, my Marines don't do that, so they're wrong. We are an institution. We take the responsibility for what we do here and abroad. We don't get to fucking divide when it's somebody's turn to fuck up.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And as a people too. So if you're coming and killing a demographic, which is an institution in itself, we'll call it an institution because it's a certain amount of people that have certain beliefs, right? Or a certain color, race, religion, whatever it may be, right? You're targeting them, they're going to target you. And it's not one of you because you're not targeting one of them. So when we say all cops and all blacks or this, that, and the other, it's kind of how it's going to be. Because we can go down to fucking slicing up the pie a million ways, and it's all going to turn into this pie is black and law enforcement.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the pie is only 2 flavors.
Yeah. It's not something that we really have the luxury of being able to blame just that one person, because the whole institution is...
Oh, no, I definitely agree. And I think, I hope out of all of this, the process of becoming a cop becomes much more extreme in terms of training. I was more...
When I was saying dumb before, I shouldn't use the word,
that's
dumb. I should
the
say
more
uneducated and in it for the wrong reasons, because...
that's more fun.
Undertrained. I would go with undertrained.
Undertrained. If they had to go through the processes that I feel that they should, a lot of the cops that I know probably would never have even wanted to be a cop in the first place. That was
more my purpose of saying...
That's what I should...
I'm not just going to be like, every cop I've ever met is dumb, because they're just plainly not. But...
But as a part of an institution, you assume some responsibility for what happens, even if you didn't do it.
Yeah,
right.
If you're going to sign up for that institution, you should accept responsibility for the decisions of that institution.
Yes. No, I definitely agree with that. And that's kind of my, not the biggest takeaway, of course, but that is something I hope in terms of law enforcement. There has been a rumor lately that it's like you have to do more hours of training to become a hairdresser than you do.
That. I don't know.
And I have no idea if there's any validity to it because I don't know the steps in either. But just the way that things are going, I think we need to really amp up the training of police officers on both the psychological level and an actual in the field level, because psychologically, I don't know how much training is actually going on, and then the actual in the field work before you're allowed to carry a gun or before you're allowed to use a taser. Before you're allowed to use any lethal force, you should have this many hours. And I'm sure they have those rules.
Yeah.
But
They're probably
they
just
need
too
to,
short.
right, they beef them up a
think-
little bit just because this is a problem that's gone on for so effing long.
Yes.
Somebody just needs to put the foot down on it.
I also saw you said something in there. I think it was actually Ohio that became the first state today or something that is going to try to make reform in allowing police to use military style weaponry and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, they're doing a changeover, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it was
again,
here, but
this was something that I saw today and really haven't had time to check the credibility of it, but that's something that I could get behind. If you're going to have military assets, then make the military involved in it.
no, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
I mean, you can, but what stops you from killing everybody?
Wait, so you're saying that
Nothing.
that police would get
But
more?
the point I was kind of trying to make is that the military has a little bit more, like you don't see military members shooting people and kneeling on their necks and shit like that. This shit doesn't happen. They're sleep deprived. They're going through a whole lot more shit, but yet they are still able to like detain a citizen of another country without just blowing his head off and having these like hate crimes going on. If that makes any sense.
I mean, there's a difference because war is war.
And the military have more training.
Well, yeah, but there's a difference though, because war and military, that's what they're for, right? You're not going to use your military, any branch.
I wasn't saying
But
using the
I'm-
military. I was saying using the military assets. If we're going to use military assets, then the military should be the ones using it.
No, if you let me finish, I'll tell you why that's not a good thing. Because as soon as you deploy your military outside of the National Guard, because it's meant to guard the nation, right? If you start putting Marines, you start putting fucking soldiers down, you start doing this, you start equipping them with fucking military tactics, then it's a militarized authoritarian fucking government. Because now you are using the people in the military to subdue the people that they have sworn to protect.
I wasn't talking about the military using it
What
in another
assets?
country. I was saying the military assets should be used by the military, not the police.
What assets?
Like I don't know what it was in the things. I guess they're talking about like assault rifles and SWAT cars and shit like that, using Humvees and stuff for whatever use.
The way that
reason.
you said it, you said
it might have
police
been like-
officers getting more military weapons.
And they are going to get it.
I meant
Yeah, that's
I meant
that's
the
what you said.
complete opposite.
Yeah, because me and Max were both like,
Yeah.
"Why
No,
is he
I meant the
saying this?"
complete
Yeah, no.
opposite.
I was like, "Wait, we're supposed to be de-escalating the situation,
Yeah.
not handing
No,
them bigger guns."
I was basically I
But
was saying
to
if
that-
the military assets should be used by the military. There's no reason
There
for
we
the
go.
police to use it on our own people.
Bingo.
Yeah.
There
Folks
we
at
go.
home,
Yeah.
that was an old switcheroo. My boy was a little off, but we came back around on it. We do not believe that. Yeah.
I straight up might have sounded like
De-escalating. Speaking of just like military tactics, I actually just found this out during all of this. I had no idea that tear gas was not allowed to be used in warfare. Is that a thing, Max?
Tear gas
Yes.
in warfare?
Yeah.
Well, you can use it for riot control. I mean, you can't use.
Right, but
You
there was
can't-
something
you
like
can't
in
use-
warfare.
Well, I mean, you can't. Well, chemical warfare. I mean, it's like Willie Pete. It's white phosphorus, and you can't use shit
Is
like
tear gas
that.
considered biological?
Well, it's
chemical
it's
warfare.
considered chemical, but I mean, if I fucking throw gasoline and fucking light in, it's considered damn near chemical too. 'Cause it
Right.
makes it
Does
chemical.
I guess he's asking, does tear gas go against the G?
Yeah. Does it go against like actually being allowed to be used
No.
in a military? Okay, because
No.
somebody had tweeted that out that it was.
No, I
something
trained
that's
with
not even
tear
allowed to be
gas
used.
and,
Okay, never
all the
mind then.
time, and I mean, it's unpleasant as fuck. You don't want
Feels
that.
like it. It seems like it.
But no, I don't. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's not against the Geneva Convention because I mean, if you're violating the Geneva Convention in your own country, that you're not have like Al Qaeda or Taliban, and then you're really in deep shit.
And just to bring up, now that I'm thinking about the tear gas and the rubber bullets, there are so many times and this is kind of one of the great reasons that social media, that I love it, is how much things on social media are getting posted from these riots, and how much like this is all being caused because of a cop being a complete dumbass and murdering a person. And now these cops that are working at these riots and protests, there are videos of people just peacefully sitting there protesting, and they'll start hazing down rubber bullets and tear gas. And it is they're just doing like to
A
help
lot.
their cause is they're going like the total opposite way.
Yeah, a lot of them are justifying it by the curfew and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not in the house by 8 o'clock, rather than fucking try and resolve this as peacefully as possible, we're just gonna start pelting people with.
And what do you do? What do you do, guys? If you go to back up the people in your community, say like the Breonna case that they came in, shot her in the fucking head, and nobody was there. They know, or like the other dude, Aubrey, that case, he's running down the street, he gets fucking hunted down. You go with the other 1,000 people, 200 people, and you're sitting down, you're chilling, you're gonna protest, right? Which is a fucking constitutional right. And then you get pelted by the law enforcement. Do you think that might start somebody being really mad and looting and burning shit down? I'm telling
yeah.
you, the creation of this is from the people
Well,
that are telling us to stop.
wait,
It's we are going to pelt you and fuck you up when you're trying to protest to make you look like criminals and stop you now.
well, and that's the thing
Right.
that I'm seeing a lot on social media is like this thing where like the police are putting out bricks and shit like that, trying
Seen
to
it.
get them to throw them out a window and loot so they can justify using force against the protesters and shit like that. I don't know how valid this is because I've been seeing a lot of it and it just seems really funky. It also seems like something they would do, but
Right. And it does go. I have
You're
seen
doing
videos a lot like that. There are some that you got to be really careful of. Somebody will be like, oh, there was one specifically with a police car, and it was a bunch of cops on a police car, and it looked, you can't see, it's really dark outside, but they're like doing something to the windows. You can see them all doing something to the windows, and the caption is, look at these cops, they're burning and they're breaking their own windows, they're doing this, that, and the other. And then like 20 minutes later, somebody's like, well, actually, 14 minutes later, there was like 700 people.
curfew, baby.
Oh, is that the curfew alert?
Curfew, baby.
the
That's
curfew
the
sound.
ammo alert for curfew.
That's
I think
insanity.
this is off too.
Is it?
Oh, did it just turn off the video?
Yeah.
The,
I'll go get that soda. You guys keep talking.
yes, but yeah, so.
Might not have video for a couple of seconds, guys.
Yeah, to that point, yeah. So there was a video basically saying like, oh my god, these cops are breaking their own cars, and then like 30 minutes later, somebody's like, well, actually, there's another video of 20 people just jumping on top of this car. So
Yes.
I like that people are sharing the videos. Let's just make sure we're honest about said videos. Let's not try to, because there's plenty of bad stuff we can point out about the cops without lying about
Correct.
random shit.
Yes.
So
I can agree with that.
yeah.
If,
not
if,
good.
and it's just like any other fucking atrocity that happens to anybody in your community.
Right.
If you cry wolf, people won't believe you.
Right.
So you just got to make sure that what is happening to you is happening to you. What you support is what you support, and what you believe in, you stick to. That's it. You don't have to fucking try hard. You don't have to fucking sit down. You do what you need to do to be the best person you can be. Take what you have to fucking take, because nobody really gives a fuck. Sorry to tell you guys. Nobody really does.
Yep.
In kind of just to further all of these points, obviously, like President Trump is doing
What a winner.
Dude, oh my
maybe
god.
the
What a
complete
winner.
opposite of what you should be doing in
Dude,
this
I
scenario.
posted today. I was like,
Oh,
I
you
posted
think
today.
maybe almost the opposite? No, it's
Like,
completely the opposite.
Yeah,
It is
throwing
completely the
tear
opposite.
gas at protesters so you can take a photo op outside of a fucking church in Washington
do
D.C.
you
is
know-
about the most fucky shit.
He
you
looked
can
like
do.
such a robot holding the Bible.
Do
It
you
was
know
fucking insane.
Dude,
that
I don't know
he-
if he's going to make it to the next election, bro. He might get fucking
He
impeached by
used
then.
the most deadliest weapon this world has ever fucking seen. He used the Holy Bible to disperse humanity, bro. How many fucking millions and billions of people have died over that fucking text? And there's a separation of fucking religion and state for that fucking reason.
That is kind of insane that you just said it like that, because I didn't even think about it in that context.
Oh, really?
Of literally using
It
it
is-
like that. I honestly, when I saw the video, I was like, first of all, this is crazy town. The guy's tear gassing, trying to shoot all these people just to get a goddamn photo op.
Yes.
But then on top of that, that point makes it 10 times more worse to think of.
It is wild watching this man right now. He went into the bunker. I still don't really know the validity of it, but holy shit, man. This dude in February was fucking not scared of the coronavirus, when at the time we thought it was like a really bad thing. It could kill a large percentage of the population and shit like that. But he's in a fucking bunker because of a bunch of unarmed minorities. That says a lot about our fucking president of the United States, man.
Well,
If it's true. And I actually saw from like New York Times and shit like that that he was
Well,
in
I
a bunker.
couldn't tell you if it's true. If it's true, he's a fucking wuss. But
He's a
whatever.
pussy.
But that's not the point. It's that you don't use religious fucking
Oh yeah.
texts.
Oh, yeah.
You don't use people's religion to fucking get what you want, especially not during civil unrest. The last time the government had a problem with black people, the most amount of fucking civilians died. That was the fucking Civil War. And it was because the black people had to fucking not be slaves anymore. Everybody killed each other. Because, oh, wait, hold on. We can't use these motherfuckers no more. Let's kill each other. And now we can't kill these motherfuckers anymore. Let's kill each other. So it always comes down to what we're doing got old. Now there's a problem. It boils down to that every time in America. Oh, shit. Immigrants this and immigrants that. Blah, blah, blah. Right? What happens? Now you got kids in detention centers. You got this over here. You got that over there. Nobody wants people from the Middle East, even though they're dying by the hundreds of fucking thousands. We're the home of the fucking free. We're the fucking brave men.
Yeah.
We're the home of the fucking brave. The land of the free. Where you can't fucking walk down the street the right color and fucking feel safe. Mm-hmm. The land of the brave, where a police officer doesn't have the fucking nuts to grab you with his hands. He will shoot you because he's afraid of you. That's a brave man. That's where we live. The land of the free and the home of the brave.
In terms of just what would be, and I know there isn't a perfect answer of how do we fix this problem, because I think it's something in terms of like the farther we get away from slavery, the more it will fix itself in a way, just because
You did not say that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I did say that. You think the younger you are, yeah, you don't think so, like older people are going to be way more innately racist than younger people.
How do you believe that?
Racism is taught, bro.
What's up?
Racism is taught.
Is what?
It's taught.
Oh yeah, no, I agree that it's
it
taught.
doesn't matter
You don't
how
think
many-
that people are getting more open to diversity?
No, I believe racism evolves into a sense where we can now pick what we can say and what we can't say and oppress in other fucking aspects. Now we don't go around, well, it depends. If you're on the west side of Cincinnati, they might just call you a nigger because I get it all the fucking time. But you can't, on the rest of the fucking country, not always is going to happen, but there's always going to be this fucking scathing, oh, you're eloquent. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, well, I speak
yeah.
well.
I see it.
Okay.
I see it all the time.
Or like, oh man, like I never thought you would do that.
No, I don't think there will ever be a time where it's just, oh, we're done
yeah,
with
that's what I'm saying.
racism.
It's
No,
not
never
gonna go
like that.
away.
But I think people, as we move forward, like generation after generation, I think people will be more open to diversity, less judgmental of being like, oh, there's a black person.
I don't
there,
think-
this, that, or the other.
I think we're slowly getting to a point where minorities are starting to get more rights, but as it comes down to racism, it's only going to evolve into another way that you can oppress minorities, like he just said.
Okay.
It'll change when that minority is then a majority, but it doesn't insinuate that racism will fucking be eradicated or
No, it'll never
just
be
the
eradicated.
people that would be oppressed would be the minority then. That's the only thing that's happened because it's just a flippity floppy thing. It's the turn of somebody else here soon. It's gonna suck, but it's just the way it is. You can't take for so many years and not get taken from.
Well, I agree with that.
I mean, it's fucking cosmic fucking karma. You're not gonna get away from what.
So in terms
what
of
is
like
done.
all of this happening, do neither of you see like an end to like
To
the wrongful-
racism?
Not to racism in general, but to these type of problems that we're having, like cops just going out and murdering people.
No, I
Do you think there will
I
just
think
always be the racist cops who are just waiting on their chance to kill?
I don't think it'll
See,
happen. in our lifetime.
I don't really even care if there's racist cops. Do your job.
Yeah.
You can hate me for being
guess that's
black.
true.
You can hate me for being black. You can hate me for being fucking white. You can hate me for speaking Spanish, for being... I don't give a fuck about that. Don't fucking kill me.
Okay.
That's it. I'm not calling it a race thing. Don't do your fucking job. Do it as a public servant what you're supposed to do. Do not kill the people you're protecting.
Okay.
That's it.
I think we'll do what we always have. Once they rise up and something gets changed, air quotes, they'll just refabricate it in a different way.
And you know, the people that are fucking dipping out of this and that are lucky are our senators and congressmen and fucking governors, because those motherfuckers are up there high on the fucking hill chilling while these police officers are catching fucking hell down here, and we're fucking raising the fucking hell, but it's their job to start representing us. Those are the leaders we need. They need to start coming on fucking television, being out in front of those fucking rallies, saying, hey guys, this is what I'm going to do as your representative, as a part of the fucking constituents, as one of your delegates. That's what I need to do. These motherfuckers need to get out and fix it. The people that we elected to be our leaders. You know?
Yeah, that's why just in general I don't trust politicians a lot.
Well, we have to force them to do their
Well,
job.
I agree,
just
but
the same
yeah.
with law enforcement.
Yeah, but yeah, that's why I don't trust politicians, is because it's however long the campaign is, lie, and then get elected, and I kind of throw all that out the window, and what helps me get reelected instead of actually
it's
doing
true,
the right
dude.
thing.
I was just reading an article earlier. It was in Mississippi, I believe. No, Texas. It was in Texas. I can't remember what fucking county, but it was part of Houston. I think the second biggest county in the United States, like population-wise, like 4 million people or some shit, right? And they did, I think, 4 years of studies with judges and lawyers, right? Elected judges from those counties and counties around it, that the numbers came out that the lawyers that were helping the judges throughout their campaigns were being hired as defense attorneys and as defense lawyers with that judge afterward. You see the issue there?
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing fucking pay to play when you're fucking legitimately with people's livelihood. As a judge, your whole job is to interpret the law, and you're being corrupt. How can anybody trust you?
Yeah, you just can't.
You can't.
You just can't.
So that's again, if fucking shit has to burn down for us to be able to force our government and our law enforcement and our agencies to do what we need as people of the United States of America, then
So
it's just gonna have to happen.
And it's our right to do so.
It is. It says it in the Constitution as well.
Yeah. Stand up, America.
Stand.
Stay safe.